Hey everybody, well welcome. Here's our second podcast. We've made it, and we have a name for you, and we're ready to tell you the name of our podcast. If any of you may know this already, but we're ready to display it.
Let's do it. Thank you guys for all of your recommendations. We really appreciate it. There's a lot of good ones, so we'll get into those later. But wanted to start off. Our show's name is Section 325. And it's definitely a unique name, and it definitely has a lot of meaning to it. And I wanted to kind of let Sean go into detail about that because for him, it's special for him. So, Sean, tell us about why we named it that. What is its meaning, and just kind of tell us about your time in that section.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm Sean, and this is Zach.
I don't need any introduction.
Yeah, Zach needs
most
no
people know
introduction.
Who I am.
Yeah, handsome, rugged man. Anyway, yeah, Zach kind of came. We asked the people. We're going to go over some of these crazy names today, but we appreciate everybody who went in and took the time to give us a great name. But Zach came up with the best idea. I've been a Seahawks season ticket holder for 19 seasons. Next year will be my 20th year. And I've had some great memories and a lot. Zach's been there. And Zach was like, well,
definitely have.
Sean, where are your seats? I said, well, I'm in section 325. He goes, that has meaning. Why don't we make that our podcast name? Because Zach's got an opportunity to be up there with me in my section. And some of my best memories are of Zach cussing out one of the Seahawk kickers. I won't name his name. I know you have a hatred for him. That's
just for the sake of podcast. I don't cuss, but in this case,
well, in
maybe
the way Zach cusses, right? Like Shucky Darns, doggone it, that guy.
And I discovered my love for hot dogs in that section.
That's what I was going to bring up.
And my love for giving hot dogs. So
and
we're not going to go into detail.
We need to go into detail. He can't just say that. He actually bought real hot dogs that he was handing out. I wouldn't say giving hot dogs, but he was handing out, hey, anybody want a hot dog? And he'd come with an armful of them and hand them out. But it was a great day. The Seahawks lost the game because our kicker missed the kick, and I guess the hot dogs didn't tie him over enough. But anyway,
we're special moments. Sean's had a lot of great moments in that section.
Great moments. Three Super Bowls that we've been to since I've owned those tickets. So a lot of great memories. But section 325, that's where I've gotten to just see a lot of great things from there. Some of the best memories would probably be when Richard Sherman tipped the ball as Colin Kaepernick threw it to the end zone.
That was against the Niners, right?
Against the Niners.
Yeah.
Niners.
I just wanted to clear that up.
We win all the big games, the meaningless games that don't matter, whatever. Exactly. Should we get right into the Seahawks-Niner game?
Just wanted to say that it kind of goes hand in hand with our show because, it kind of, section 325, it's more of a fan's perspective on sports. And just kind of sets us up for, I think, what our show's all about. I know you're with me on that. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Well, before we go into the Seahawks 49ers, which congratulations to the Niners. You took it. You have the NFC West Championship. I think we should talk about some of the names.
Let's get into the names. Thank you guys. We had a lot of great feedback on that. We had some great names. We had some not so great names. And we'll just kind of fire them off. It was all fun, so I appreciate you guys really sometimes
wonder if people who actually are our friends on these social media sites are actually friends. We got a guy named Stefan who's a friend of ours. And
friend of yours.
Yeah, a friend of mine, really. He said Special Teams Podcast because you two are special. I think there's a behind-the-scenes meaning on that. There? I didn't. That's definitely not our name. Obviously, we're section 325, so we ignored that.
We definitely won't have him probably on the show. A little bit too smart of a smile.
Jason, he had a great the RPO, the run pass option. Guy I used to play basketball with back in the day, Kevin. He called us Elbows and Zach because he's under the impression that I elbowed him a few times down low, and I just want to say I'm a man all the way through and through. And when you better get off the track when the train's coming through. That's all I can say. Kevin, you know what I'm talking about.
This might or might not age you a bit, but I was actually best friends with his son in high school.
Oh, yeah. Well, Zach and I are about 5 years apart, so that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, give us some of your names.
Oh man, I've got. Let's see here. Let me get a couple good ones here. We had somebody say 2 guys, 1 mic. I thought that was a little scary.
That was weird.
But thank you, Thomas. We had 2 men, 1 mic. I don't know what's going on in my feed here.
This is odd.
But we also had Hawkcast. Shout out to Jeremy.
First off, I'd like to just point out that my friends are better than your friends.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, that was weird.
What is this? A Geno Smith, Russell Wilson competition?
No, I mean, I have Tyler. He's a golf pro down in Arizona, a good friend of mine, and he said purple monkey dishwasher. And then we became less friends. Thanks, Tyler.
Somebody had mentioned Carla Durden, boys and balls.
Boys and balls.
Yeah.
How about Richard Haugen, the voice of your North Idaho College Cardinals? He said that we should call ourselves the Fumble, and then he gave me the laughing emoji. Thanks for all the confidence, Richard. We appreciate you. Good luck at your next podcast and
Spoken from
live.
one great voice to another.
Yeah. Speaking of, a little shout out to Corey Simmons for getting his 200th victory with the North Idaho College men's basketball team.
Pretty amazing.
Good job, buddy. You're great.
We had Alex Reyes with Count Your Chickens.
Count your chickens.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That sounds like a shot at the Hawks.
I don't know, but he is a Falcons fan, so
yeah. What does he know?
Must be tough.
What does he know? Falcon fans.
Let's see.
Aaron, the crossover. That's not a bad name. Not a bad name.
This was hands down my favorite. Let Geno cook.
Let Geno cook.
That's one of my favorites.
The Hail Mary was thrown out. The Hail Mary.
Dennis Spencer, 2 dudes. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
I'm surprised that Dennis Spencer actually had something that we could share.
Yeah,
on our podcast.
Yeah,
that's
me
good.
Too,
Thanks,
me
Dennis,
too.
for keeping it clean.
How about this one? Jamie Harden, rock out with their hawk out.
That's a good one.
I thought that was appropriate for
Jamie.
all ages.
That is good. We definitely like to rock out with our hawks out.
We definitely do that at Section 325 on game day.
There's no doubt about it. After a loss, we're a little quiet, which rarely happens to the Hawks. But after a victory, we're rocking out with our hawk out.
For sure. That kind of, the Clipboard Jesus.
Jesus.
What was the backup's name back in the day? Clipboard Charlie Whitehurst.
Charlie Whitehurst.
Charlie
Good
Whitehurst
memory.
Shout out. God bless him. So,
God bless Charlie Whitehurst. Yeah. Yeah, I think we had some pretty good names.
I had somebody say on here, I'll say it while I'm at it. Shout out to Brad Odman. He had said, if there's one thing I know, that Zach needs shoes for Christmas. So I wanted to just say,
new shoes.
That I did get new shoes. So you were the only other person besides my wife to point that out.
That is
thanks, Brad.
That is impressive. Well, here we are. We're not going to be showing our shoes, hopefully, during this podcast, but we do want to get into some of this wacky weekend games in the NFL. Tremendous. First, shout out to the Zags for taking down Alabama. Big huge victory. That's exciting. And we're going to get into the Zags a little bit more after football season when it matters during March Madness. But right now, we owe some time to the NFL. And Zach, what was your most impressive game that you watched this weekend? I know that we all tuned into the Thursday game. That was exciting with just so much on the line, and the Seahawks just came up short. The Niners, that defense.
There's really nothing you could say. The Niners played, they're a great team. So I feel like we played okay. With our on defense, we made some changes, played okay. But if you're asking me the most exciting game, I always get a little more excited when I see the Cowboys lose at the last second. So,
well, my second favorite team is anybody playing the Cowboys. So Jaguars,
Trevor Lawrence, they got something going on over there right now. They're coming for the playoffs, and who knew? Another Dak Prescott interception when it matters. So that was exciting to see. I thought, in all, I think it was an exciting game in general, even if it wasn't the Cowboys. But to me, that was one of the best. That was one of the more entertaining games, even though there was a lot of other things that happened. I thought, just watching the Cowboys, just collapse under pressure. I really enjoyed that.
Many of you may be wondering, I know that you guys are watching this intently. I am wearing a winter coat because it is under 30 degrees here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where we're filming this. I will be wearing a coat until it's over 32 degrees. Many of you who know me, I do not deal with cold weather well, although I do love our area because you probably ask why I live here. But
no, you don't. You never have.
No, I love living here. I just
you never dealt with the cold very well.
No, I get a little grumpy, but I'm trying to bring all the energy I can as my feet are freezing, and I won't be showing my shoes off like Zach did by any means. Mine are much more.
What about
impressive.
you, Sean? What stood out to you this weekend?
Well, let's talk about the biggest NFL comeback in league history, the Vikings.
That's right.
I gave the Vikings a hard time for losing to Detroit our last podcast, but I wrote them off. I thought 33-0 Colts have got this. They haven't been able to move the
I
ball.
thought so too. Everybody wrote him off.
And as I'm in Spokane, gave up on the game driving Miss Daisy around, which is my mother. My mother uses me to drive her around from place to place. She says she doesn't like to drive in the winter. I don't believe her. I think she just likes to be escorted around. But, Mom, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm driving Miss Daisy. I shut the game off. I'm in Spokane, and then we stop for some lunch, and I turn on the game, and the largest comeback is coming, and I had to watch it. So hats off to the Vikings for not giving up.
Yeah. I mean, they tend to win games this way. I mean, they were down big. They're 10-0 with one-score games right now.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that was, I mean, that was something. That was something. It was a slow, painful watch for me because I was the guy I was playing in fantasy football had Delvin Cook, right? Delvin Cook.
Yeah, the running back.
And he slowly started to
he
play better and better. So
yeah,
it was kind
put
of
on a show.
bittersweet. But
they have two running backs that look like they're twin brothers. That
they do.
Are like the
Madison
same.
And Cook.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't. I know a lot of people aren't going to take them serious going into the playoffs, but
well, they're the Vikings. They've never done anything serious. But right now, as it sits, they're the number 2 seed, and they will host 2 home games if it stays this way. I know the Niners would like to get that, but I don't think the Niners really have to worry with that defense. They can play on the road or at home. I think that the way they bring it is impressive on defense, and apparently with Mr. Irrelevant, it doesn't even matter. They did just enough on offense to win that game against Seattle, but so the Cowboys losing keeps
the Jaguars. Seeing the Jaguars. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you talk about somebody that can motivate people. I mean, that is somebody who brings the fire week in and week out.
Yeah, the way he throws his head back to put his helmet on with that hair is motivating to say the least.
Okay, guys, let's go get this one. Excuse me, what was that?
Well, let's pretend like we're Trevor Lawrence right now doing a podcast.
Yep.
Guys, Zach, what should we talk about?
Well, that was just so exciting. Watching the Cowboys lose the other day, I was really fired up.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about Trevor Lawrence. I'm depressed now.
We love you. Yeah.
Anyway.
But I mean, that was exciting. Let's talk about, biggest blooper of the day.
Oh my gosh, the Raiders.
You can always count on a Raiders game to provide you with
usually they're the ones.
They're the ones on the other end.
Right.
But this year, all of their wins have come from some crazy
last second.
I don't know how. I'm not sure how much longer John Thurston can fight through it.
Can we still call Bill Belichick the greatest coach of all time after that? I mean,
I'm not sure if that was part of their 2-minute drills in their practice, but
incredible. For those of you that don't know, we're in I think it was 24-24 tie or 27-27. There's limited time on the clock, like seconds. They run a running play, a draw play up the middle. The running back goes crazy and decided to act like they were down in the game and just throw the ball all over. He threw it back to one of their wide receivers. I can't remember his name, but he may not be on the team after this week. But
Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers, the running back.
What do you?
He threw it to the wide receiver. Yes, Stevenson. So then he launches it back to the quarterback.
I think Stevenson made a bigger play than he thought, and he thought in his head, we can do something here. Then he pitched it laterally to Jacoby.
He threw it backwards, 25 yards back to the quarterback.
And I think Jacoby was so shocked that he got the ball that he just thought they were down.
Let's talk about Jacoby's stiff arm on the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback was right there to tackle him.
Chandler Jones. Yeah, he sent Mac Jones. No relation. No
relations.
Back to who knows where. So. Yeah, that was.
If those two were brothers, that would be interesting. I need to know the story on that. But what a stiff arm, and then run it in.
What do you think Bill's reaction was after that? What do you think he said to the locker room after the game?
Well, I'm going to ask you the question. I'll pretend like I'm the interviewer. I think that you do an excellent Bill Belichick impersonation. But so what were you guys thinking, Bill, as you're drawing up the last play of the game in a tie game that you could have taken into overtime and played for a victory there, but you thought, what?
Oh, well, he made a mistake.
And?
Well, he made a mistake.
That's a perfect impersonation. I'm glad Bill's not going to be a guest today, but we do have we have Pete Carroll joining us. Zach, is that what you said today?
Yeah, we got Pete coming on the air here in about 5 minutes.
We have a
he's
little
going to talk game
Stick
day.
around.
Game day.
We do have Pete showing up.
He didn't want to say anything negative, so we agreed to not talk about anything negative. Only positive.
Only positive.
Yeah, only positive.
Russell Wilson was our old quarterback, and Zach told me something today before we got on here today with you, and this may be the beginning of the end of Russell Wilson. As we know, he's had a rough year, and now he's being caught. Zach, where was he?
Yeah, it's been a rough year for Russ, and I'm sure he's just fighting through a lot of issues right now. So what better place to go and decompress than the casino? So yeah. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. I'm sure some people have seen the picture of him. He's sitting at a poker table by himself. Did you see it? Have you seen it?
Was he drinking the Danger Witch?
That actually was an alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
He changed it. What do you think that would be?
Oh man, the Danger Witch drink.
What would be if you guys are listening? Of course you're listening. If you're listening to this,
yeah.
But
I know exactly what it would be.
Comment below.
Oh, great.
On what you would put in a Danger Witch drink. What alcoholic beverage? What would be in it? Whiskey?
Yeah.
Would it be?
I think that the winner of this, who comes up with the best drink, and we'll be the judge of it. Maybe we'll put a poll out. We don't know.
Maybe we'll even drink it.
But let's give away a $25 gift card to someone's favorite coffee shop, and who can come up with the best drink for Russell Wilson's final hurrah into the NFL. He's going downhill. He can't throw the ball anymore. He has a concussion, and now he's out gambling all of his $253 million contract away. Sad, but we need to come up. I think this is great. We're going to give away a $25 gift card.
Comment your Danger Witch alcoholic. What would it be made of? And leave your favorite coffee shop too, so we can know what that is. But I think that's a good idea.
What's your favorite coffee shop?
My favorite coffee shop? Oh man, there's a lot of coffee shop podcast.
And don't worry about hurting someone's feelings. I'll give you two so you don't hurt everyone's feelings. Give me your top two, not necessarily in order.
Coffee stand. Definitely Renee's. Definitely Renee's. Always have loved Renee and Renee's. Frequent goer. For sure.
Oh, good for you.
And then I got to go Union. I love the Union guys.
That's a coffee shop. Are we talking coffee shops or like Renee's where you drive through?
Well, my favorite stand is Renee's. Favorite shop is Union.
Okay, so you just kind of went for both.
Went for both. Yeah. Try to be a little more.
If we're talking like coffee places, I really enjoy Fine Brewed, but for stands, I got to say Milk and Honey and the Human Bean for me.
Yeah. Shout out to the Human Bean.
Yeah, you know who you are, you owners.
We've stopped by there many times before going to section 325.
All the time. In fact, I expect a round of applause now when I come through for giving you guys a name drop. But anyway, hey, that's just me.
But yeah, what do you think? What is Russ going through? Do you think he was sitting there watching the Broncos play? And I don't know if he was at the game or not. I'm sure he was at the game. But
I think Russ he got bigger than the game.
Yeah.
And when you're married to someone who's a celebrity also, so you're getting love all over, not just in the NFL, but he's getting love on the entertainment side of things. And
my wife can relate with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrity, right? That's why I picked Zach to be in our podcast. But I think that he just got a little too big in the head, and I like to think that even though I have no love for Russell Wilson anymore for not wanting to be with the Seahawks, I think that Russell's a smart enough guy that he will gather it in and just say, you know what, I was wrong, and it's really about the team, and it's not just about me. I think being in business, that it takes a team to create everything successful around you. You're only as good as the people around you that are providing all the success that it takes to close out. We're in real estate, so close out a real estate transaction. So whoever you choose to be in your team, that's what matters. You don't do anything alone.
Yeah,
you don't. Yeah. And I think he got a little too big in the britches, and
I think he kind of took for granted I think we all did how good of a coach Pete Carroll was, and how good of a GM John Schneider is, and Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. It's clear that they're one of the best combos in the NFL. So I just think he got a little big headed, and
he didn't buy in
a lot of the guys on the defensive end had been saying it for years. But, he kind of wanted what he couldn't have. And then he went back, he tried to prove himself, and
I think
he wrote himself off, unfortunately, which is something
did.
that
Gino
didn't do.
No,
Yeah,
Eugene
Yeah.
won't do that.
And if I was Russ, I would recommend that. I would say to him, hey, maybe go spend some time with Gino, maybe a weekend retreat or something with Gino. Just get around somebody that has great leadership skills and, go from there.
A guy that can take your team to 7-7 after riding the bench for I don't even know how many years he's rode the bench. But I got to say, I feel really blessed to have a guy like Gino come in and fill in for a guy that we thought we were going to miss. And we immediately remembered that all the great things that Wilson did, but I think we're in better position with Geno Smith than we would have been having Russell Wilson here, having to pay him so much money to keep him, number one. So it opens up a lot of
unbelievable doors. Yeah, unbelievable doors.
So I'm excited for next year. This season's not over yet. I think if the Seahawks continue to win 2 out of their next 3 games, I think that we have a great shot of getting into the playoffs. What it means from there, we don't know. But let's talk about the top playoff teams. Let's start with the AFC. Who is the team to beat that you think will represent the AFC in this year's Super Bowl?
This is a tough one in the AFC especially. But the team that I really it's obviously I really like the Buffalo Bills. I mean, a lot of people talk about the Bengals, the Chiefs, right? But the Bills have won. They've won pretty gritty lately, and they've beat some good teams. And a lot of people talk about the Bengals, but they looked up and down yesterday. And then the Chiefs, they've almost lost to the Texans, and then was it the Texans yesterday, and then the week before
Houston almost.
Who did they
beat
play
them.
yesterday? Houston, and then they almost lost to somebody else the week before. I can't remember.
Oh, I can't either. But yeah, it was another close game.
Another game.
Oh, Broncos. Russell Wilson almost beat the Broncos.
Russ. I mean, if Russ can cook the Chiefs, I'm excited for what Geno can do. But so I just think in the AFC, it's the Bills. What about you?
I have to go right there with you. I think Josh Allen he's an incredible athlete, and I love his passion for the game. I think that coaching staff has been slowly putting together this team over the last couple years, and this is their year. I think the Chiefs have been there enough that they can slide in on just their confidence. But when a team wants it, if you can remember when the Seahawks won their Super Bowl, there was nothing that was going to stop us that year. And I think that's the Bills. I think they've had limited success in the NFL other than going to 4 straight Super Bowls and not getting one victory back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Kind of reminds me of the 49ers recently. A little bit. Going to Super Bowls but not able to win one.
Yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen this year. I don't think if they get to the Super Bowl, they can't beat the Bills or the Chiefs. I can't see them.
We'll see.
Competing. But, defense does win championships, and their defense is fast and scary.
Man.
And
Bosa is something else, man.
Yeah, I was looking at him, and I'm like, he's not very tall, but he's got tree trunks for legs.
He does.
He's got all the leverage on those big tackles.
Just goes to show you how important a defensive linemen are, and to have a pass rusher is obviously what we don't have.
Definitely something that we lack. Yeah. We got good athletes that'll bring it and come in and disrupt some plays. But Bosa is every play. You have to account for him on every play. He lines up on multiple sides of the defense.
Yep.
And he is just bringing it every play.
He is. Yeah, I think we're both in the Bills. What about the NFC? Some interesting games over the weekend with top teams. The Eagles didn't really play very well, but they still won. Jalen Hurts, it looks like he's not going to be able to play this week.
Oh, I didn't hear
on the
that.
Way over. My buddy Adam Schefter texted me on the way over, of course, like he always does, and let me know that Hurts was going to be out this week. So.
Wow.
Actually, he is actually. I mean, possibly going to be out.
Possibly going to be out. Well, if anybody has a game to lose, it's the Eagles. They have 1 week where he could sit out.
You might as well. And you got Gardner Minshew, which will be fun to watch.
Oh man, I really wanted the Seahawks to get
I know. But
anybody who knows
I'm glad
Gardner
we got Geno.
Minshew,
I'm glad we got Geno. But
former Coug, go Cougs. Yeah, so Gardner Minshew.
Shout out to Mike Leach.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
Mike Leach, which was coaching Gardner Minshew back then, and just sad, tragic. Just always remember, people, we don't know when our last day is going to be, and make sure you're treating people kindly, and have a plan for the future, because I think we both believe that there's definitely eternity. But Zach, with that being said, I think that Mike Leach was a guy who put a smile on people's faces, and with where we are in the real estate market, and maybe not being as an exciting market as it could be, and we know next year's going to be a different story, but what kind of advice can you give people that maybe are in the real estate business right now that could be something positive to look forward to
in the real estate business?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, I think something positive would be, if you're a realtor in the real estate business, or anybody in this business, for so long it's been a great market, and it's been kind of this attitude of I can get in and do deals, and right now it's not like that. But in everything that's difficult, there's an opportunity for you to stand out, and I think that's what to me stands out right now, is gives us an opportunity to even serve our clients better, serve our vendors better, give a better experience to buyers and sellers, which is obviously the key. And then at the end of the day, more realtors will be getting out because it's not as easy. And you'll have an opportunity to take over some market share. And like I said, just stand out. I mean, this is where the rubber meets the road, in my opinion. So with that, there's a lot of opportunity, and a lot of opportunity to come out the other end really successful.
All right. Thanks for that, Zach.
You like that? You like that?
Well, hey, whoa. I know the Vikings won yesterday. Let's not get too excited. The Vikings still have to play in the playoffs. But I think we're excited to wrap up our second podcast here. Please, we need everyone to get on and tell us what the name of the Danger Witch drink would be for Russell Wilson, who may be on his way out of the NFL. We're starting that here on the podcast. I mean, he's gambling all the family's money away in that big contract, but
yeah, he's spending some time around Antonio Brown.
We're just trying to be entertaining. We don't know what Russell Wilson's going through.
Let's make it clear. So the drink is already called Danger Witch.
Well, the sandwich is.
But let's have them. No, it's gonna, like, if you were at a restaurant, if you went down to the Moose or something.
The Moose. There's a shout out to the Moose.
Let's say you ordered the Danger Witch drink.
Yeah.
What would be in it? That's what I want.
It's called the Danger Witch. You're
it's already
just
called the
picking
Danger
what
Witch.
So my bad.
Would it be vodka and?
Well, don't give him any ideas.
Yeah,
but definitely he's got vodka.
The name is already there, but what would you, if you were to do make a drink with Russell Wilson eating a Subway sandwich? What would be in it?
I think this is great. This is a great challenge.
And then put your favorite coffee shop, because then we'll get you a gift card for the one we choose.
Yes, absolutely. For the number one most voted drink from Zach and I.
Sean, before we go, I know real estate, business, sports, and of course God as well. What do you got for us when it comes to that avenue?
Well, it came up this past week, and we're talking about faith. And faith is something that you cannot see, but yet you believe. And I would encourage those, no matter where you are in life, have a little faith that no matter where you are, that things can get better, and they will. And have that faith and trust that that's going to happen. And it will happen. It will happen. I believe that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And it's kind of like my kids this weekend with Santa. They've got a lot of faith. They know it's going to happen, and they don't know it's coming out of my wallet yet.
Oh, man. Well, I hope they're not watching. He just gave it away. Now, kids, Santa is coming. And
Merry Christmas as well.
Merry Christmas.
And remember always to subscribe on our YouTube page, Section 325.
Find us all. Section 325 is our official name. Look for us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And we're excited to keep bringing this to you every week. And if any of you out there have ideas of what you'd like to hear more of, put that on any comment that you need, and we're checking all that stuff. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. Look for us next week. We'll be out here again on Monday. Zach, anything else?
No. Just did the wave.
Goodbye. Well, we just do the sign off.
We're done.
We're done.